Today I'm bringing you a video which is an analysis of the footage made by Van Zandt's drone over in Santa Catarina, right? Several UFOs were filmed after the intro. Hello everyone, I'm Edison Boaventura. Welcome to our channel. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to our channel. And if you like this video later, click on the like button. Leave your comments because this interaction you have with our channel is very important. Today I'm bringing you an analysis that we requested, right? For a long-time friend, Vanderlei. He has a YouTube channel with over 1,100 videos. He's always worked like that in ufology, researching, analyzing videos, right? And posting there whether it's really something ufological or if there's a conventional explanation, if it's a misinterpretation. So he does a really good job analyzing photos and films, right? We've known him for a long time. His channel has been around since April 2009, right? And so now, a few days ago, we were with Vanderlei, who is the drone operator there, who took these images, and we interviewed him there in the Pacaembu Stadium area in São Paulo. He gave more details and provided the original video to be analyzed. So we had the idea to talk to Vanderlei so that he could analyze this video in a completely impartial and neutral way and share his findings with us. What did he find interesting? If it's really an authentic, real, unidentified flying object video, or if it could be explained as something else. And today we're going to bring you the results of this analysis, which he'll also share on his YouTube channel, right? So it will be published on our channel and also on Vanderlei's YouTube channel, right? And what's interesting is that he was talking to me, we were chatting on WhatsApp. He mentioned that initially the three objects had been identified. But actually, during the research he did on the original film, he discovered other equally interesting objects. Some of them even made strange movements and reached really incredible speeds. Right? There's an object, for example, that appeared in 4 frames, right? So it was moving at a really high speed, right? So, without further ado, let's check out the analysis done by Vanderlei. Let's see.
Hello everyone, Vanderlei here. How's it going? I got an invitation from Edison Boaventura to take a look at the original video that Wanza shared. Great 4K video at 60 FPS. In other words, there's a lot of information. So I want to explain more or less what I did here, right? I dragged this 3-minute video here into the editor and turned it into 30 minutes, which means it's 10 times slower. Looking at this video is hard, right? Unless you watch it on a big screen. In 4K, it's hard to notice these objects. But once you notice, you can't just do like that guy did. It's just that this is nothing. What do you mean it's nothing? We're seeing it here. After you see the analysis, there are at least 8 objects. I believe there are more. There are more in the scene. And I focused here on the initial minutes, which is where they are most present, right? Right when the video starts. So at this moment I found 8 objects, counting the 3 that Vanza had already shown in the edit. I'll emphasize that these are not a group of 8 nothings. They're not birds, they're not insects, which was the first thing I thought. Yeah, but before you zoom in or enlarge it, you don't see wings. You see no bird or insect wings. much less drone wings, drone antennas, so they're unusual objects. Add to that their speed. You have to slow it down 10 times to notice that they're passing by. So it doesn't exist. Also, they're coming from the back. I don't know how tall it is. So 200, 300, 400 meters, I can't estimate. They're speeding up from the back towards the sky, passing over the edge, right where Vanza sensed something might be there. Some kind of bone den there, right? Some place where they could gather, but no, right? Everyone will move from the bottom to the top, crossing over the highway up there at the top. That is towards transversal, going to infinity, right? That's not something insects do. That's not something birds do. So guys, check out the results I found. So let's go over the moments I picked out. Can you believe watching it again here in the editor? I'm not sure if I analyze this object that passes by quickly here, because I'm going after that one in the background, which would be the first one. Upward movement, passing over there above Barranca and the highway, right? Dispelling that impression that Vanza had that maybe they could have a base there. An indentation in the cave, a cave that could serve as a hideout for UFOs. I think that idea was dismissed since we show that in another case too. He goes over it, and this one goes over it too. These two are in the same shot. In other words, they're happening at the same time. A lot of movement going on there in that ravine. All of them from left to right, moving upward. And this one seems like it tried to get closer to the drone. You can't tell much from this image, right? Just that it's something energetic, translucent, or illuminated. You could say he tried to engage, right? Instead of getting to what the drone was, this one gives me the impression that he's sprouting and passing over the highway. He makes a turn, right? And then at the end, another upward turn. Also seeming to be accelerating and passing really high up there, right? The fifth object was the one Vanza detected. There's nothing more to add about it. Maybe I'll zoom in here to see at the end. It's from this video to see if I can improve. Because I didn't do that in this object. So since there's no view above the mountain, Vanza's impression was that they entered somewhere around there. But we've already seen that's not the case, right? No. The sixth object is another one. Quick trascente. I even thought it was some kind of reflection. In just a few frames, he crosses there quickly. A ballistic trajectory. I believe there are more things in this video that I don't know, right? That I didn't detect. This is the clearest one. I'll work on it now, then to show that they have their own lighting properties, maybe. Or they're quite reflective, right? Because they stand out very well, even though it's clear they're not big objects. They're orbs, right? Surely less than a meter. Conference. They're spheres, right? Since they're round, the light makes it impossible to define you. If you have light, shape changes before you notice. So it's not a group, right? It's not a group. There are many objects, maybe belonging to the same fleet, most likely, because they're all going in the same direction. And finally, this cigar-shaped one. The cigar-shaped one, I realized that in an old analysis. Although they may be several isolated spheres, they also have the property of grouping together. I don't rule out that it could be that, right? 2 or 3 spheres become magnetized and stay on the same path, giving the impression of being an elongated object, because it's not that fast there, right? It still seems like a cigar-shaped object, or elongated. So as I told Edson, they're UFOs. There's no way. I can't say it's a drone, a balloon, or an insect. What else could they be? They're unknown things, right? Now here at the end, I'm still going to do some work to get closer. That first video to see if there's any defined shape. And here then is the part I selected to do that zoom, that close-up work, and apply some filters to see if you can notice any more features that might have gone unnoticed regarding the movement, or if it's spinning, or if it has wings, or if it leaves any trail of condensation. But for that, the image still wasn't enough. Maybe more for us in the future, when we have 8K. And if we catch something like that, we might be able to see the details better. Sometimes it appears to duplicate and stretch out more. But I don't know if this could be some kind of image artifact. If it's a black dot that looks like 2, or if maybe there really are 2. An object with just this characteristic. Unable to say any of that. It's an authentic, unidentified flying object. So it's unknown, right? There's no way to know by which. Methodology, which techniques? It's moving, anti-gravitational, magnetic, spinning. It doesn't seem like it is. So I made this little section for that. I hadn't made any others, just to demonstrate really close up with the maximum zoom extended. Although it's hard to know how accurate this can really be, right? Just another attempt here to contribute to bring more information from the video. If you watched this far, you're a hero. Thank you. I thank Edison for inviting me to help with this analysis, since it's not definitive. I can't say that I saw everything 100%. It's huge with many frames, and something might have gone unnoticed.
So that was the conclusion we wanted to share with you from a specialist, right? They really are strange objects, right? There isn't a conventional explanation. Some things could indeed be related to the unidentified flying object phenomenon. And in an unbiased way, we're bringing this to you. Of course, a more thorough analysis should be done at that location, trying to reproduce this phenomenon. Go there to that ravine, to that crevice, where apparently some objects entered, right? Others didn't enter, they went straight through. But it would even be interesting to do a vigil at that place to see if we can detect those unidentified flying objects again. So it's a study that's being carried out on this, a serious study. It has to be like that. You have to interview the witness. You have to gather the supporting material. Let specialists handle it so that they can provide answers about what was filmed there. So we believe that serious research is done this way. So if you like the video, click the like button, leave your comments, and see you in the next live video with Edison Boaventura.